Namaste, namaste, and welcome to this short practice. Today we have done in our mat and chair yoga classes quite a lot of work with the upper back and chest and shoulders. And so often it's common to experience some stiffness or feelings of effort over the next few days. And I wanted to share with you two yoga practices that are really good for releasing tension across the upper torso. So this is appropriate for chair yogis as well as mat yogis. If you're doing this for a chair yoga, then you simply sit in a chair while I'm sitting down. You can sit in a chair while I'm standing up as well. So it's really the arms that we're concerned with today. And one of the most common ways to open the chest in yoga is to do a pose called Gomukhasana with the arms, where you clasp the hands behind the body. And often we do this with a belt, but today I want to show you a variation where you don't need a belt. So I might come into kneeling actually, just to show you what we're doing. So we're going to start with the right hand moving behind the body. And we want the palm of the hand to face away from the body so that the back of the hand comes as high up to that space between the shoulder blades as is possible. So there's no right or wrong here. Just want to bring the right elbow in towards the torso and the right hand as high up as you can. And then the left hand, the arm comes up and the arm comes as close to the head as possible without sort of moving your head in an odd direction, and as far back as possible. And then you bend that arm at the elbow and see where you get to. So if I'm doing my best side first, so I can clasp the hands here behind the back, but if you can't, you just simply hold the back of your head with your left hand. And you're going to press the left hand into the head and just keep, press the head into the left hand, or you can press the left hand into the head, but just to keep that sense of effort through the left side of the body. So you're keeping the shoulder open, the elbow open, and that right arm reaching as high up as possible. And when you're in that position, whether it be clasping, if you prefer to use the belt, or using a belt, if you're doing this position where the head is resting into that hand, then you're simply going to circle the upper body. So in any seated position, it could be with the legs crossed, it could be with the feet nice and wide, it doesn't matter. But circling the body about 5 times in one direction. And then I'm just going to clasp for the other side 5 times in the other direction. Just finding a nice movement through the whole of the torso. And I can't remember how many I've done, so I do one more. And then when you come back to center, just holding for a moment, taking the elbows back, letting the head and the neck be nice and free, and then releasing. The top arm first, reaching up and then down to the side of the body. And with the bottom hand, sliding the hand down your back and around your hip so that you release nice and gently. And when you come out of the posture, you haven't let go all in one go. Your muscles have had time to adjust to that new position. So then, once we've experienced how that feels on one side of the body, we can do the opposite side. So the left hand now comes behind the body, palm of the hand facing away, and the hand coming as high up towards that space between the shoulder blades as possible. Right arm reaching out and up, back as well, so close to the head, and reaching the hands either together or, like me on this side, reaching the back of the head into the right hand. And then keeping the elbows open to keep the chest open, just circling the torso 5 times in one direction. This is 3, I'm counting now. Doesn't matter which position you choose for your low body, as long as it feels comfortable. And then 5 times in the opposite direction. Really just a nice limber in general, this one. So helping you to release tension across the shoulders and the neck and the chest and the upper back. And now I've stopped counting because I was chatting. One more in this direction. Very good. And then coming to center, releasing the top hand first, sliding the bottom hand down the body and around the hip to come to the front, just noticing how the body feels, giving your shoulders a few rolls. And then if you've enjoyed that, we can do something that moves the body in the opposite way. So coming up to standing position, I could stand a little closer perhaps. If you're wanting to do this on a seat, sit on your chair with your feet quite wide apart. We're going to soften the knees here, and then we can do goddess pose legs for those who want to. Feet turned out and the knees bend nicely. We'll take the arms nice and wide. Cross the right arm over the left arm first. Hold onto your shoulders. Let your elbows soften onto the chest. And this might be enough. And here again, you would do circling. But if you like to do eagle arms and you find that quite accessible, then you can bring yourself into eagle arms, backs of the hands or palms of the hands towards each other, and circling, this time 3 times in each direction, either from a standing or a sitting position. And then when you're ready, going in the opposite direction. If you're using goddess legs, just making sure that the legs are feeling nice and strong. You've got a bit of support from the belly and the buttocks. In the center, you might want to relax your legs straight. Relax the hands to the side, the opposite shoulders, down the body and across the belly to open up. Give yourself a bit of a wiggle. Oh, feels so good. And then the opposite way, arms nice and wide, and then left over right. Let's see, right over left. Yes, left over right. Oh, it's terrible when you get all muddled. Reaching for the backs of the shoulders, elbows nice and soft onto the belly. Taking a couple of deep breaths. And then if you wish to, you can bring yourself into eagle arms, bending at the knees if you're doing a goddess pose, maybe widening the feet a touch, and then 3 circles in each direction, just using the fingers or the elbows to move, to make those circles in the air, and 3 circles the opposite way. Very good. Nice and stable. When you come back to the center, relaxing the hands to the shoulders, relaxing the legs straight, maybe turning the feet in if you have goddess legs, and then releasing the arms down across the body, turning the palms open, wriggling through your shoulders. Nicely done. And of course, stepping your feet together or bringing your knees together if you've been on a chair. So both of those postures, we've just done the upper body for both of those postures. We've used different low body varieties or variations, but Gomukhasana, hands behind the body, Garudasana, arms crossed across the chest. And they're both useful. They move the body in 2 separate directions, but create an opportunity for length across all different structures of the chest, back, shoulders, arms, even the wrists and hands. And I hope that they've been useful. Do remember to keep moving. Just make any gentle movements of the neck and the shoulders to ease your stiffness out. Try to avoid stillness because that will not help your stiffness. And I hope that you will come back for another practice again soon. Namaste.